best described as an online digital corkboard where users can contribute in a kind of post-it style way. We're using anything from text right the way through to video, media and other links. So I'm going to start by showing you a Padlet that's already been completed. So these were my Year 2 undergraduate students, and I'd asked them to share in this little post-it note form their favourite study tips. Now they did this live in a lecture, so it's a really good way of getting thoughts on something if you are already online teaching live. So as students are typing in, you would be able to see that real time on your screen. Now I can just keep it simple and text-based like this, or I have a plethora of other options that I can use. So I can take photographs, I can record my voice, which is always really useful. I can do things like drawing. So students are able to respond in a good media rich way. Again, we're trying to keep that variety in place for accessibility reasons, and also to make sure that our online teaching isn't just going down the same route constantly. Making a Padlet is very simple. So I'm going to choose the layout of the wall, so you can have it brick-like like this. I can have it in shelves. This one is really useful if you have different groups, so you can create a shelf for different groups. Timeline is also really useful, so I might split my students up and ask them to work on a particular section of a task to collaborate and then come back and put it all together. So for this example, we're just going to use a wall. It's just taking a little while to load today, so please do bear with me. So you can ask students to respond to a task. You can ask them to upload photographs of things. There really are lots of options for using this. Now here is my wall that is created already, and now I want to personalise it. So I'm going to go to the little cog at the top and start working on it. So I'm going to change the title. So I'm going to call it my online learning example. If I want to, I can add a module code or a tutor name. And I can also personalise it with things like icons. So we'll have a nice smiley there. Now here I can actually change the address of the Padlet, which again is really good to help students access things easily. So your address will always be padlet.com and then your username, and then I can change it and I can just have online learning examples. I can change the wallpaper, so we might add something that is relevant to the topic or just something that looks a bit nicer. Let's have thanks as teachers. And then that is essentially my Padlet done. Now, if I look at the bottom here, here's where you can really start to push contributions and collaborations. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to allow comments. I want students to be able to talk with each other about their work. And you might even consider adding something like reactions. So a simple like is quite nice to be appreciated. Or you can actually ask students to rate or grade. Again, this is really useful for you. So if you want to give some very quick formative feedback, that is an option to take. So we'll say we'll give them stars. If you want to approve a post before it goes live on your Padlet wall, you can just switch this on here. And actually this one, unfortunately, you shouldn't have to use it, but if you are in a situation where you think language might get a little bit naughty, then you can just put the filter profanity on there as well. Once I have saved that, so you can see all of my changes have taken place on my boards, I can close it and I'm just going to click share. When I share it, I can just use a simple link. I can embed it so it looks really good embedded into Learning Edge. I can show you how to do that later. Or I can create simple links with things like QR codes or standard links as well. So that's Padlet.